Hello and welcome to another episode of LoL Chat. Today, Riot, or yesterday, whenever, I don't know anymore now, Riot had actually put out a updated version of the Mastery tree, all of its icons. As of course you can see, they look a lot fancier now. They have some color going for them. The Masteries are really screwed up right now looking with the 29, 20, and 21 on their stuff, but I'm just going to briskly run through all of these things and their status effects. I'm not going to go over in every little detail of what they do and talk about them. If you want to see that, you can check the earlier episodes of LoL Chat where I actually talk about what they do. But these are the icons I'm just going to run through. So offense tier 1, feast each time you kill a unit, restore health and mana. Fury, gain increased attack speed. Sorcery, increased cooldown. Butcher, deal additional damage versus monsters with basic attacks and single target spells. Does include damage over time area of effect. Tier 2, double-edged sword, deal an additional so much damage, receive an additional X damage, ranged, same effect, deal more, receive more. Brute force, attack damage, plus attack damage at level 18. Goes per level, same with mental force, but in ability power at level 18, and they scale. Tier 3, spell weaving, damaging an enemy champion with an auto attack increases your spell damage by so much, stacking up to 3 times. Martial mastery requires brute force, more free attack damage. Arcane mastery requires mental force, free ability power. It's a flat thing. Executioner increases damage dealt to champions below so much percent, health by percent. Tier 4, blade weaving, requires spell weaving, damaging enemy champion with a spell, increase your basic attack damage by a percent, stacking up to 3 times. This cannot be triggered more than once per second. Warlord increases bonus attack damage by percent. Archmage increases ability power by percent. Dangerous Game requires Executioner. Killing a champion restores 5% of your missing health and mana. I know I said 5%, but yeah. Tier 5, Frenzy. Critical hits increase your attack speed by X for X amount of time, stacking up to 3 times. Devastating Strikes, percent. Armor and magic penetration. Arcane Blade. Your basic attacks also deal bonus magic damage equal to so much of your ability power. It's no different from what we have right now with Spellblade, or whatever it is. And then Havoc, increased percent damage. So that's, of course, the quick rundown of all these things. They seem to have done a lot more with these. And it's interesting to see that they actually moved the the current mana per level item down into the offensive tree. The little guy holding the purple in his hand there. Alright, defensive block, reduce incoming damage on champions' attacks by so much. Recovery, health regen per 5. Enchanted armor, increase your bonus. Armor and magic resist by so much. Tough skin, reduce the damage taken from neutral monsters by so much. This does not affect lane minions. Tier 2, unyielding, requires block. Melee, reduces all incoming damage on champions by so much. Range, reduces incoming damage on champions by so much. Veteran Scars just gives you health. It's currently about the same as it is now, just scaling. Bladed armor, enemy monsters that attack you bleed, dealing magic damage equal to so much of their current health each second. This does not work against lane minions. That, of course, is to be noted. It will not kill them because it's only equal to a percent of their health. So you can stand there and minions will not die from them. That's one thing Riot had noted. You should also note. Tier 3, oppression. Reduce the damage taken by so much from enemies that have impaired movement, slow snare, stuns, roots, taunts, blah blah blah, etc. Juggernaut requires veteran scars, percent of your maximum health increased. Hardiness is just free armor. Resistance is free magic resist, just flat. Tier 4, perseverance is percent of your health missing. For every health regen based on how much health you're missing. Sorry, there we go. Swiftness reduces the effectiveness of slows by so much by a percent. Reinforced armor requires hardiness, reduces damage taken by critical strikes by a percent. Evasive requires resistance, reduces damage taken by so much percent from area of effect magic damage. Tier 5, Second Wind requires perseverance, increases all sources of incoming healing by 10% when below 25% health. I'm just saying that because I can. Legendary Guardian, bonus armor and magic resist for each nearby enemy champion. Runic Shield. Then the Legendary Guardian's flat. Start the game with a shield, and then your shield comes back every time you respawn. Tier 6, Tenacious. Reduces the duration of crowd control effects by a percent. Alright, so that was the defensive tree. Now, of course, on to the utility tree. We're almost done with this thing. Again, if you want to see the complete breakdown, just go to the earlier episodes of LoL Chat 1, LoL Chat 2, and LoL Chat 3 for every little specific detail. And if, of course, there's anything significant, I will mention that again. Phase Walker reduces cast time of recall by a second. Fleet of Foot, which is Sivir's passive, same name. Percent movement speed. Meditation, so much mana regen per 5. Scout increases the cast range of wards and trinket items by a percent. Conjure, summoned units, traps, and clones have 10% increased duration. This does not work on wards. I know I said the thing, and I'm probably going to say it for a few of them. Summoner Insight reduces the cooldown of summoner spells by percent. Strength of Spirit, gain health regen equal to percent of your mana regeneration. Alchemist increases the duration of potions and elixirs by so much, which I believe this also means that it's going to make them stronger because it lasts longer, is what it's more or less getting at. It's possible, but it could just be a whole other thing, or just not even applying to regular potions, or just taking its time if you are taking damage. But then again, why would you want a potion to take its time when you're ignited? So I think it increases the health that you're getting from it every time as it goes. It seemed a little weird for it to not do that. Tier 3, Greed. So much gold every 10 seconds. Runic Affinity, increase the duration of Shine Relics, blah blah blah, by so much. That's pretty much the same. Vampirism, exactly the same. Percent life steal and spell vamp. Culinary Master requires Alchemist. Your health potions are upgraded into biscuits that restore 20 health and 10 mana instantly upon consumption. I know I said those ones. Tier 4 Wealth requires Greed, extra starting gold, bandit, melee grants an additional gold on champion kill or assist, and ranged, you gain an additional X gold every time you attack an enemy champion. This can't trigger the same champion more than once every 5 seconds. That's exactly, for ranged, it's exactly the same as it is right now with the just tapping people, and you get the hands holding out for some gold in it, while they changed it, of course, for melees who go in and kill people off to actually get some gold for their stuff, for not just poking out. Expanded Mind, percent increased maximum mana, inspiration, experience every 10 seconds when you're near a champion that's a higher level than you. Tier 5 Scavenger requires Bandit, gold each time an ally kills a nearby lane minion. Now, of course, this requires them to last hit, but they do have items that do not require last hitting, and it's just saying if you don't kill it before when it dies, you get gold or something like that. And then Intelligence, percent cooldown reduction, and reduces the cooldown of activated items by percent. Tier 6 Wanderer, you just get movement speed when out of combat. So that is all of the updated things. Well, a speed run of all 3 of the areas, just so you can at least see them and be like, oh yeah, that's the one that does, that thing. Like, it's like, wait, what was the eyeball do with the with the scars all over its face, and it's like, oh yeah, it's the health thing. Of course, you're probably going to not remember all of these, but you're like, oh yeah, that one. I'm going to get that one. I want that one. I want this one. I'll go over to that one. So you can at least get a feel quickly how you're going to build your mastery. I know I'm trying to rush it a little bit, but a better general idea than just staring at a bunch of shields as before, because I don't feel like running through the previous thing and then just editing out. There's no real point in me ripping out an episode to throw it back in just because they tossed out a mastery when I already have, people looking at them, and possibly people saving the things or saying, oh look, you should try this link, it has the stuff right here, man, and it's mentioned all the stuff already, so you can go listen to this. It's not really something I'd want to do. So that was, of course, just a quick breakdown of the masteries. I'll probably cover items eventually once those get really settled down with their gold, because they have piqued my interest heavily. There's a lot to look at for them when it's like, oh, what's this thing now? What's that thing? This has something new, doesn't it? What's this? Mainly in the means of who would benefit from which cages, the old Philosopher's Stone, which are now called medallions, and ancient coins and other things like that. So it's really just a matter of which one would benefit from that more. But what champions would benefit in what situations and how. Because there's a lot they're changing. They're renaming the passes, renaming the items. They're changing up icons. There's a lot to do with the items. But now the masteries are more or less there and done. Just going to poke out anything that's different and new. I am done. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, leave it a like, anything like that. Toss it around to your friends if they want to see a more updated, or you want to see a more updated thing. Please recommend them to the earlier episodes. This is probably going to be episode 4 of LoL Chat. So 1, 2, and 3 have this stuff. Nobody likes defense. It's hilarious to see that, probably because it hasn't changed that much while the offensive and utility trees have been gutted to pieces. So I'll talk to you guys next time in the other episodes. Bye.